Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Claudia, and if you're new here, my channel is all about my weight loss journey, and I also share some lifestyle content, weight loss and lifestyle. Last year, I started the medication Semaglutide for weight loss, and I have had tremendous success. As of today, I have lost 67 pounds. I started at 238, and now I am at 171. And this was taking some months off last year. The clinic that I went to was out of the medication for several months, and I was able to maintain and even lose 4 pounds being off the medication during those months. So the success I've had has been, to me, it's been overwhelming. And I will tell anyone that's on this medication, I did not feel like I saw results in the end. It did seem like it was taking forever. For me, my journey was a little different, and I'll share that in another video. But just stick to it. Just don't give up. If the medication, you don't have any major side effects, I would say just stick to it. If you're under a doctor's care and your health is still doing, well, I would just say stick to it and don't give up. But I wanted to share with you 2 side effects that I have. And I've been sitting here just trying to think over and over this past year and a half, did I have any major side effects? What else did I have? I know a lot of people have shared side effects that I hear in Facebook groups and on social media. But for me, I only had 2. I could only think of 2. And every time that I even think of something, it goes back to those 2. So I'll share my 2 side effects that I've had on this medication. And I started this, like I said, last year. I did take a break by, not by choice, but because the clinic ran out of the medication and I just couldn't afford to go to another clinic because the one that I go to now is very affordable. So here are my 2 side effects that I had. The first one is that I was nauseous. Now, this does not just come from, in my case, it doesn't just come from just by taking the medicine. It was because I was nauseous because it was certain things that I was eating. My doctor, when I went with them, and this is every doctor's appointment that I go to, I go with a list of questions. I started doing that when I had my first child. My doctor would be like, oh my gosh, you're so organized, because I would have my little journal with my questions in there. But back to the video. So I asked him side effects. That was my first thing I wanted to know. And he stated to me, he said, have you ever been eating? He said, just give a meal. He said steak and potato. And I don't even eat steak, but he just was giving an example. And he said, if you've ever been eating a meal, steak and potato, veggies, and he said, and do you come to that last bite and you feel like, if I take this last bite, I'm going to be so full, it's going to put me over. He said, and I said, oh yeah, I felt like that before. I've done it before several times. And he said, well, if you do it on this medication, it will make you sick. And he said, that's my number one thing that I tell my patients because I see that so often. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. And so, of course, me not, of course, listening at first, I did that. And oh my gosh, I overate. And I felt it. When I tell you how nauseous I was just praying. I'm not a person who likes to throw up. I know that's probably TMI, but I was like, I gotta go to sleep. I gotta go to sleep so I can wake up and feel better. But that was one of the reasons why I experienced nauseous. The other thing was certain foods I was eating. If I was eating fried foods, now I can say I have ate fried foods and I wasn't feeling nauseous, but I did feel a weird feeling. But I know certain fried foods that I was eating, after I've lost some weight, I'm like, okay, I'll go back and I'll eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I did go back to eating fried foods. And It was not a good fit. I would just say that I was very nauseous. And so even though I do kind of dip and dab in a little bit of it still, and I don't get a huge nauseous feeling, I still feel weird. I don't even know another way to describe it, but I just have a weird feeling. The other thing was alcohol. Now, I'm not a huge alcohol drinker. Those were back in my college days. I'm beyond that now. But anyway, wine, or if I just had like a cocktail and it wasn't like it wasn't like a tequila shot or something. But I will say in the beginning, do not drink anything. You need to let your body get adjusted to this medication. I did not. I went and drank wine. I drank some sangria. And that was another thing. I was literally feeling so nauseous. I was like, I don't want to throw up. Like, once again, I got to go to sleep. And I remember asking him about that, like if I was able to enjoy a glass of wine. And he did say that it's not, that you can't do it. He just was stating kind of like you needed to wait, monitor it. I wouldn't be heavy on it. He did not tell me I could not, but he just was saying I needed to kind of wait a little bit to see what the medication does for my body. Said they're not opposed to, he wasn't opposed to me not having it, but I should have waited. And so now I, have a glass every now and then, but I have to, like, I can't have too much. I have to have like a glass and then that's it. If I have two, and I have to have light beverages. I can't drink any hard alcohol. And I want to tell a story about being nauseous. The very first time I took this medication, my very first shot, I came home, and I don't know if we had these cookies or what, but we had chocolate chip cookies that we had bought from somewhere. And I had ate 2 cookies. This was literally, I went to the clinic, got my shot, came home, ate these cookies. Chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh. Why? I felt it right then. Like it was minutes after I was eating it. It was like very nauseous. So it's just like the medication is basically telling your mind and your body about it's cutting those cravings, and it's trying to get you to not eat certain things. And so all I would say is just listen to your body, listen to the doctor, ask questions. If you have favorite foods or if you have certain cravings for things, talk to the doctor and ask them before you just start indulging in this and then having these side effects. My second side effect would be constipation. Now, I will give a full disclaimer. I have been dealing with digestive system issues since about my 20s. I have never been someone who's been able to go on a regular basis. I have taken certain supplements to help me go at times. So I will say prior to the medication, I have had digestive issues in the past. So this was nothing new to me. However, I did not have any constipation pain. I know sometimes when you have constipation, you have pain. I never let it get to that point. Once I found out that this was a side effect that could possibly happen, I immediately took supplements. I had Smooth Move tea. I've had some magnesium. I've had some Metamucil. Just whatever I've been trying. I tried just several things to make sure I was able to have a bowel movement on a pretty much weekly basis. I know I should be going more than once a week, and I do go more than once a week, but I know that if I went past, 5 days or so, I am taking something. So you just do whatever that you feel is best for your body. Try different things to see what works. If you know something that already works, use that. Metamucil, it just did not work well with me. I've had Miralax in the past because, like I said, I've had issues. But I don't know why I didn't buy it this time, but I ended up getting this tea called Smooth Move tea. Now, I will say that with Smooth Move Tea, if you notice that you haven't been in about 5 days, don't expect for you to go the next day after you have that tea. You do need to take it on a consistent basis to help your bowels move on a more regular basis. And so that could probably help with the constipation is drinking more water. I am not a natural water drinker. I drink it because I know I have to, but I don't drink enough of water, and that is prior to the medication and while I'm still on the medication. I am not drinking enough water. So I know the doctors will tell you drink water. And that may also help with your constipation. I can't say for myself it has done that because I have not drunk enough water to see. But I do know that when I've done diets in the past, when I've done hydration challenges, I know the more water, the better. Now, I do know that the medication already makes you feel fuller faster. And so you don't always eat a lot of meals. And so that's one of the reasons why your digestive system kind of slows down. And so if you're drinking a lot of water, it makes you feel full as well too. So you may not be eating them as much either. So those were my only 2 side effects that I had. And I know a lot of people have had different side effects, but for me, those were the only ones that I have had throughout this journey. Once again, if you are thinking about taking this medication, make sure you seek a doctor. Go out and get a consultation. Bring all your questions and concerns that you have to the doctor so that way you can make the best choice for yourself. If you have any questions about the medication, please drop them in the comment section. I'm going to try to make a video about any questions that I can think of. But if you have some, please share them. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching.